Hello, hello. I've got loads of rehouses to do today. A lot of creatures have outgrown their enclosures and we can move them on to newer and bigger ones and then put the smaller ones in the medium ones and so on and so forth. So let's clean some of these up and then crack on and get some of these guys moved into their new homes. Alright, so the first thing to address is going to be these little ladies. These were part of my Ghost Mantis communal and I moved them out here to save them from being cannibalised by, don't know if you can see her from here, her. Because we had 5 of them, I think, maybe 5 or 6, I can't remember. But we ended up with four left. And one of them, no, we ended up with 5 left. One of them got cannibalised and eaten by her, so I moved one of the males out into a separate enclosure and then the 2 females in here. Mainly because these were the slowest growing ones, they were the smallest, so I didn't want them to get eaten by the notorious one that's left in her personal living quarters, which is a nice big enclosure. I can't really do much with at the moment because she's in there. And these 2 girls have been living here peacefully. I'm just waiting for them to molt and it's taking forever. I've been feeding them a lot more to try and speed them up a bit because they just need to have their final molt and then they can go back in the communal enclosure and hopefully live peacefully. But I wanted to free this one up, so let's move these into this enclosure, which is now free. This was one of the males' enclosure, but he passed away. He had a bit of a mismoult, so his wings were really wonky. I've had him in previous vids. So I knew he wasn't going to live too long, but he did reach maturity and he was okay, but then yeah, he recently passed away. So this has now been freed up. I'm going to clean this one up and then we can move them in. The dynamics get very complicated with these ghost mantids. It's just an ongoing saga. All right, let's get these girls moved. Hello, don't mind me. Just chilling. Number 1 is in. Come on. So as I've mentioned before, they do have a lot of difference in colour. It's quite cool because each of my females are a different colour each, which is nice. We've got this black one here, the tan coloured one that I just put in, and then the bigger one is a green colour. There we are, rehouse number 1, done. We'll put this enclosure to one side because I'm going to use that to rehouse my assassin bugs. Next up, you might recognise this one. It's the one that I done in my previous video, and it's my planted terrarium, and it's very nice, luscious and green. Still yet to see whether it's going to propagate and the plants are going to take off, but I wanted something really pretty and nice to match the coloration, so let's go for my Cilnia Humeralis, the wide-armed mantis, as she's approaching what I think is her final molt now, so it'll be good to keep her in a nice big enclosure ready for that. If you haven't seen it, I recently done a video on this species, which was kind of a spotlight on the housekeeping and husbandry around keeping these, and had some cool facts that we found out about her. And this is such a pretty species. The markings on her arms on her raptors are really cool. So I hope she's going to feel nice and at home in here. Would you like to go on the top or on a leaf maybe? Don't know how well she's going to grip onto those leaves. I'm sure she can make her way up to the top if she needs to. Awesome, I love it already. She looks so cool in there. So with this now unused enclosure, I'm going to move in this little guy. He's one of the nymphs that I've recently purchased and they're growing fast. So we may as well rehouse him. It's a little bit big for him at the moment, but that's fine. I can make sure he's still picking up his prey and I can hand feed him for now just to make sure he's getting the right nutrients. And I'll try and keep it on here, but you can see, oh, it fell off. You can see his molt, kind of, from recent, and this is the little guy. He's literally doubled in size, probably since the video I made on the nymphs. It's crazy how quick they grow. Let's try and zoom in on him a little. There we go, you can kind of see him. He was really black before, but now he's got this kind of green coloration to him. And sorry, this is Pseudocreabotra Wahlbergii. It's a flower mantis. I have kept one of these before and he died, unfortunately, probably when he was about a similar age to this. So I'm hoping I have a little bit more luck with this one, and that was just a one-off. Here you go, little guy. It is a little bit big for him, but he'll be fine in there. Certainly an upgrade from his old enclosure because this one's a bit crap. Okay, let's get these assassin bugs in here. So I'm going to renovate this one a little bit. Reason being is because I like the aesthetic of it. It looks good. It's got more verticality on it, which I think is better for the assassin bugs as they will need that when they molt. And I do notice that a lot of mine spend a lot of time kind of on the vertical ledges within their little enclosure they've got, which is this one. But as you can see, there's not a lot of space. They're growing fast. So I want to get them in something a bit more permanent. The only thing about it is the bottom doesn't have a very good seal with the silicone, so the water does leak out. But, you know, I'm thinking about it, and actually these guys don't need a lot of water. They don't need a humid environment, so I'm not going to have to put that much water in there. So maybe we can just get away with leaving the aesthetic as it is, rather than trying to dig it all out and rearranging everything. Plus, then I'll have to wait for the silicone to dry. I think we can put them straight in, that's fine. But I will give it a clean up, and I'm also going to put some moss around the bottom just so they do have something to take some hydration from. I can keep that moss moist for them. There was some isopods that I put in here. I don't know whether the assassin bugs will hunt those down if there's any left. I guess that's just a risk we're going to have to take. So sorry, Mr. Isopods, if you get stabbed by a rostrum and horribly liquidated from the inside out. There we have it, a nice clean enclosure. There's definitely isopods in there because I can see them crawling around. Let's get these bad boys inside. Now, I don't know how to handle these because I read reports that you have to be super careful. They can spray at you, they can jump at you, bite you, and it made me a bit paranoid. But then I did see some other videos where people were, you know, they were prodding them and stuff, and they were totally fine. So I'm going to exercise a bit of caution because I still am well aware that they have a very mean bite. But at the same time, I don't think I need to go the whole goggles and gloves route. In fact, they're on this bit of cork bark, so maybe I can just get them out that way. And that's one. What about you, matey? Are you going to get off? Oh. Come on, get in your new home. That's two. Excellent. Oh, I forgot to put the moss in. Well, before I do that, let's just have a look at them while they're out. See, there we go. He's instantly on the vertical, which is good to see. And the other guy is... Where is the other guy? Oh, there we go, on the underside in that little crevice there. So I think they'll enjoy this. Maybe I won't see them as much now that they've got more hiding places, but it should be better for them overall. Right, the little chaps seem pretty happy in there. They're kind of wandering around, figuring things out. Got the moss in the back just so we can hydrate some areas. And that should be them done for a while now. we should see these guys kind of double in size at least from this point. So I think this enclosure should last them a while. I did want to reuse their home for one of my spiderlings, but the problem is she's just burrowed and made her own little tunnel in her... I'll show you actually. So I did want to rehome this girl, but as you can see, she's just kind of burrowed and made herself this little home under there. So I feel a bit bad if I now move her out after she's done all that hard work. I mean, I'm sure she won't mind. It's my Brachypelma hamori spiderling. But I think we'll leave her in here for a while. I mean, she's got some growing to do before she outgrows this current setup anyway. Right then, last but not least, I need to make something new for my dubias to go in. I've had some dubias in this little box for a while, but I'm hoping to grow them, so they're probably going to need something a bit more sizable if we're going to get to the numbers that I want. Ideally, I'd like to have them so they're kind of turning over young at a decent rate, and then I can feed off some of the young ones to the mantids and smaller creatures I've got, as well as keeping some of the big ones too. So I just thought, why not make things a bit more optimal for their breeding and give them some more space to run around in. So I've got 2 of these. We're going to put them in one, and then I can alternate between them while I clean these out. Didn't really know what I was doing, but I did check out the channel Scott's Inverts. He's another British guy who does a lot of invert videos, so I found that really helpful. Go check his channel out if you get the time, because it's really interesting stuff on there, really informative. So I'm going to follow mostly what he's got on there, and I'm going to use some oats in the bottom, and then the egg crates for them to nest in, and then I've got some bowls and stuff to put the food in and water. So first things first, let's get the oats in the bottom just to form a base layer for the substrate. I don't have any bug grub, like that specific stuff you can buy from pet stores that is used for feeders. I might pick some of that up, but for now, I'll just stick with the oats for them to munch on. I need to get some proper egg crate, because I've only got the stuff that you actually buy from the supermarket at the moment. This will actually give me a chance to see if we do have any young in here as well. I've definitely seen a few running around. There'll be some under here. There we go. Lovely sight. One's giving birth at the moment. Can you see that? Get some light on it. Yeah, so the young develop inside the females and then they're birthed live. Oh, there is some little ones. Come here, you. So there's a little baby one. So I'm going to have a proper look through this substrate. At the moment I've got vermiculite in here, which I thought might be a good idea, and it seems to be okay. But it's not going to make it very easy to find the young. Yeah, there's definitely some young ones in here. It's like sifting for gold. I think I'm just going to have to shake it up and try and spot them when they're moving. So take some of this out. Right, I've meticulously went through the vermiculite. Pretty sure that's all of them. So there's only like 3 or 4 little ones, which is a bit disappointing. It's going to be a while yet before I get a proper colony going. I'll probably pick some more adults up from the pet store next week, just to try and bump up the numbers and get a bit of a reproduction line going. But yeah, I'll put some bug gel in one of those containers and some fruit in there for them to munch on. And they should be quite happy in here for now. And like I said, I can just have the other enclosure, move them over, clean this one out as and when I need to. I do really like dubias just because they just don't smell. The only downside is they do like to burrow, which can be a problem sometimes when you're feeding tarantulas or scorpions, because they'll just burrow away and the predator won't be able to find them. But that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope they enjoy their new enclosures. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. I usually post videos twice a week. But until the next time, stay safe and I'll see you on the next one.